Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. Festivals are around the corner and I'm absolutely excited to share some of my favorite recipes with you. Today I'm going to show you how to make matri, which is one of my favorites and a very classic snack. And as always, I love to make my matri nutritious by adding something healthy to it. And today I'm going to be using Aashirvaad's Nature's Superfood, which is a multi-millet mix packed with 5 different millets from jowar, navane, bajra, ragi and quinoa, which is packed with high fiber as well as magnesium and zinc and protein as well. And what more, Aashirvaad's multi-millet mix are absolutely versatile. I end up using them in making a lot of different dishes, from adding it to your paratha flour, roti flour, from making your chillas, ragi dosas and a whole lot more, and the experimentations are just limitless. So without wasting any time, let me just dive right in and show you how to make this delicious and nutritious matri. So to begin making the matri, I'm going to be using 2 types of flours, which is Aashirvaad's Superior MP Atta, which is 100% whole wheat flour, and the other one is, of course, which I showed you, which is the Nature's Superfood multi-millet mix. So I'm just going to add a cup of the whole wheat flour and a 1/4 cup of the multi-millet mix, and then start making our matri. Okay, so let me just measure them and get started. So I'm just going to go ahead and give both the flours a mix, and after that we'll add in the ajwain, the salt, the crushed black pepper and some ghee. Okay, so first is the ajwain, just mix it up, all the dry ingredients first, the salt and the crushed black pepper. You can also add like chunks of black pepper as well if you like a bite into your matri of black pepper, or you can add black pepper powder as well. So just give all of them a mix, and after that we're going to add in the ghee. And we'll mix it up until you get coarse crumbs, okay? And I'm going to show you what that looks like. Great, this looks good. Notice that we've got a nice coarse crumb texture, and then you know that you've added the right amount of ghee when you get this coarse crumb texture into the flour. And after that, when you hold the flour together, it should hold itself nicely, and when you just press it down, it should break easily. And that's the perfect consistency of the flour to ghee ratio. Okay, and that's a really simple tip for, be it for matris, for namak paras, shakar paras and a whole lot more. This is essentially the tip that I share all the time. Great, so my next step is to add little water at a time, and then knead it to make a nice smooth dough. And we don't want to add too much water. It's not going to be like a roti dough. It's going to be a little more firmer than a roti dough. Okay, and so it's so critical to use the right kind of flour when you are making rotis, right? Because you want to ensure that it absorbs the water beautifully. Notice how beautifully this atta, both the flours, which is the multi-millet mix from Aashirvaad, as well as the whole wheat flour, absorbs the water beautifully, because it helps you knead well, makes the dough nice and smooth, and also roll it out beautifully into rotis as well. So using the right kind of flour is absolutely critical for making a lot of different dishes. I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit more water, and we'll just knead it until it becomes nice and smooth. And for 3 to 4 minutes. After that, we'll shape it into matris and then deep fry them. Already given it a good knead and it's nice and smooth and beautiful. At this stage, there are 2 ways you can make the matris. One is roll it out into a nice big circle, and after that use like a cutter, and then circular cutters, either a lid or a katori or even a cookie cutter, and then cut them into nice small circles, and after that prick them with fork and then deep fry them. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll it into a large circle and then use a cutter to cut it. Otherwise, you have to shape them into small tiny balls and then roll out each one of them into small tiny circles. Right, so I've divided the dough into 2 portions and I'm going to roll them out. So matris can be made thin or a little medium thickness of about 1/4 inch thickness, or 1/8 inch thickness, which is essentially thin. So based on how you like your matri, and based on how thick you roll it out and cut it, the longer the time it's going to take to deep fry. So that is important to keep in mind. And deep frying the matris is one of the most important processes in making matris as well, and I'll share tips when we get there. Okay, so first is to ensure that you roll it out into a nice shape. The first shape doesn't matter because we're going to be using a cutter to actually cut it. Okay, great. So next, as I said, a cutter, and we're just going to go ahead and make circles, and there you go. So that's it. And the remaining dough, we would shape it back again and then make it into more circles and then deep fry them. Great. So just going to go ahead and take this out, prick them with fork. And if you feel at this stage they are a little thick, just go ahead and lightly roll it out, and that will ensure that your matris are not so thick. Now that I've rolled the matris out, I'm just going to go ahead and prick them with a fork, so that it doesn't puff up like a puri when being fried in oil. Okay, so we just want to ensure that it doesn't puff up, so you just pick it up with a fork. Great, this looks good. I'm just going to go ahead and keep this to the side and then shape up my remaining matri dough, and then we'll start to deep fry them. In the meanwhile, while you're doing this, I have some oil which is preheating, and you should do that as well. So while you're shaping the matris, you should ensure that you have kept your oil for deep frying in a deep frying pan. Now it's time to deep fry them. So I have my oil preheated at a medium heat and not high heat. Remember, we're going to be frying the matris on low to medium heat so they get beautifully crisp from inside as well as the outside, and until they become nice and golden brown and not too dark brown and burnt. Okay, so let's just do that. We'll add a few matris at a time based on the size of your pan, and we will deep fry them. And you will notice that if the oil is just about of the right heat, it'll slowly rise up to the top. Okay, notice that after about 3 to 4 minutes of deep frying on low to medium heat, the matris are beautifully browned and golden on both the side, and this is exactly how we want it. And some of them are puffed, and don't worry about it. The next batch, when you do, ensure that you prick them with a fork a little bit more so that they don't puff up. That's great. So I'm just going to go ahead and drain this out of the oil and put it on a kitchen paper towel so that all the excess oil gets drained. And after that, we're ready to serve the matri. So now that's it. I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle some chaat masala over these matris, and they are ready. And you can serve them as it is along with a cup of adrak chai, or you can serve it along with some achar like I have it here, or you can even make papdi chaats with these multi-millet mix matris. So do give these recipes a try, and when you do, don't forget to share your feedback in the comments below, and I would love to hear back from you. And if you would like to shop these multi-millet mixes from Aashirvaad's Nature Superfood, just go ahead to the link below in the description, and you will find all the details to shop both the 100% whole wheat flour as well as the multi-millet mix flour. So until then, until next time, happy cooking and healthy eating.